Over the years, we've owned quite a few vehicles, and 3 of those were actual BMWs, and 2 out of those 3 were BMW X3s, which is why I'm really excited to actually check out this, which is the latest 4th generation X3. This is the M50, and for 2025, they've completely redesigned it. This is nothing like our BMW X3s. There are 2 versions of the X3. There's the X330 and the X3 M50 that we have right here. This is Vegas red, by the way. Both of them are the same size, but compared to the 3rd generation, they've grown a little bit. So 1 inch longer, 1 inch wider, and they're a little bit shorter, about 16 millimeters or 0.6 inches shorter. Now on the M50, first of all, you have the little M badge on here, but it's the grille area. They are completely different between the 2 models. This one has, it's almost like an EV look. It's solid, but these shutters do open. And standard on the M50, the grills actually illuminate around each kidney grill, and I like it because you mix that with these brows on the headlamps. When it gets darker, it looks really, really good. You do get a squared off, bold, athletic look on the shoulders of the hood. I like this dimple that comes on the center, showcasing that BMW badge. So yeah, that is the front of the M50. Coming around to the side, now you can get 20 or 21-inch wheels on this M50. This one, we are sporting 21-inch wheels. We have winter tires on there. Behind here, you'll see the red calipers. You can either get red or blue. The M Sport package gets you red, and you also get ventilated discs. They're also bigger brakes than the standard X3. Another M badge right here. Nice piano black finish around the window surrounds and on the roof rails. Another thing I like about this is the comfort access. You can just walk up and it unlocks, and you walk away, it unlocks. I just turned that off because it was going on and off while I was going back and forth to the camera. Here, open the doors, nice and wide opening, easy for people to get in and out of. Now at the rear of the X3, this is where it kind of has me going, like, the window is really small. What ours used to be like, it came out, there was much more of a lip here. This is very, very flat here. This roof sport looks like it extends all the way, but it doesn't actually. The window starts right there. You do have a rear wiper, and this area is flat. You have wide tail lights on the side with the narrow going there. This area just looks like it's missing something, in my opinion. You do have some M50 badging. On the bottom, you have a sportier rear valence, and I do like the quad tip exhaust. That is cool. Standard, you get a hands-free power liftgate, which is a kick, or you can just hit the lever, up it comes. Nice and quiet. This is a very, very quiet power liftgate, I do have to admit. The back, we do have more room than we had on our X3. Here is my 31-liter Wandered bag. It's a little bit tall, but it can fit underneath that tonneau cover, by the way. Underneath the floor, lift it up. There is room for, but there is no spare tire. That is common for BMWs, for sure. We have a storage netting compartment on the right side. We have a lower hook on the left side and a hook and a 12-volt area on the right side here. There are no remote seat handles here, but you can just reach over and you can individually just fold just the middle down. Good for long objects like skis or snowboards or something. And of course, so we have a 40-40-20 split. All new on the inside of the X3, you see they've adopted that big wide screen that we first saw on the iX. And yeah, so we have a 12.3-inch driver display here and a 14.9-inch infotainment system, and it's kind of curved all in one. What I like about this 14.9 though, first of all, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard. It's wireless, but it's just a little bit extra in width. So you can fit a lot more real estate on here, whether you're using maps or right now, just on the actual regular home screen of your CarPlay or Android Auto. Normally you would display 8 icons. This displays 10. So yeah, less swiping back and forth. It is a touchscreen, but we do have a wheel for an iDrive wheel on the bottom here. We have an exclusive M steering wheel for this M50 here. We have multiple colors of stitching. It feels great when you have a nice red centering mark there. I like the steering wheel. It just looks and feels really good with the flat bottom. This has a few packages on it. Number one, it's got the premium package, and with that, you get active cruise control with stop and go, the BMW Drive controllers, you get a head-up display with augmented reality navigation, the digital cockpit professional, lumbar support, as well as the Harman Kardon audio system. I had the Harman Kardon system on all three of my BMWs and really, really liked it. For a system that you're not paying a huge premium for, I think it's definitely one of the best, your best bang for the buck, really. So that premium package is the most expensive. That's $5,000. Then you get to what we're sitting here. You do get standard heated front seats and a steering wheel, but they are a sustainable leatherette. If you want to go for the full leather like this, we have the amber and atlas gray merino leather. This package is gorgeous. It's a great combination, and that goes for $4,250 or so. Those two packages are the biggest ones that you'll find in here. You just can't help but notice when you get in on the door panel, first of all, you have this lighting kind of system wraps around into you. You have this light bar up front. Now this lighting can change, or you can change with your drive modes as well. I get that, but on the door panel itself, there is there's your lock and unlock, but then there's a light here with the graduated scale type of thing where you slide it up and down. It's a touch base, and that is to control your air vent that's on the door. And then you have your memory settings. Now these buttons, like for the lock, for instance, they're actual buttons, but this one is just a slide. Yeah, but do you really need to electrify an air vent? You know, how much it opens and closes? I don't know. You know, it's like, yeah, same thing in the middle console. There's that one there. I don't know. That one kind of just makes more sense, I think, than the one on the door. But anyways, maybe that's just something new. I don't know. In the past, some have criticized BMW as being just too plain and always being the same. Well, BMW has really jumped out of their shell with these latest designs. What do you think? Like, did they go too far off the other side? It might just be really shocking because it's just so new to us, especially, you know, that's just the screen layout. It's just, yeah, it's different. It's different. It's functional. It's all functional. It just might take a while. You know, it's like, it could also be subjective because Cynthia, my wife, she spent a day in here and she came back and she says, I love the interior and everything. So yeah, maybe it's just me. I never ever had a problem with space in our old X3, so this one obviously is no issue at all. In fact, that's what I went to, actually, the X3 over my 335, because we needed something bigger for the kids. The things you do for kids. So yeah, we got good leg room. This seat has actually moved back even for the actual comfort exit. This X3 is equipped with a rear comfort package. It's an extra $1,000, and that's gonna give you heated rear seats. You get also automatic climate control and manual sunshades. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty decent for sure. It has some nice design and it's very functional, and you have this huge pocket there for, you could put a large Stanley cup in there. Not like the hockey Stanley cup, but you know, the Stanley cups. But good headroom, massive panel roof on here, and yeah, just be aware, there is a large hump for the drivetrain in the middle. Not the greatest place to be in the middle seat on this compact premium crossover or SUV. That is something that will never get old. A good inline 6-cylinder turbocharged. So the three BMWs I had, the first one was a 335 Xi Coupe or Coupe with a 6-speed manual transmission. Yeah, that's right, manual gears. And the other two were X3s. All of them they were the 35 version, meaning that they had the inline 6 turbocharged engine. Now, they didn't have as much horsepower as this, but my 335 kind of did, because I actually had Steve Dinan put a big flash on it, and that thing was putting out over 400 pound-feet of torque and close to 400 horsepower, but normally 335 horsepower. So this one is a 3-liter twin power turbo engine, but it actually has a 48-volt mild hybrid system matched to it as well, so it gets you up and going, so really eliminates any type of lag that you would get from a turbocharger. And the horsepower has been increased now for 2025 by 11 more horsepower, so you get 393 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque, which is 59 more pound-feet over the previous version. This will make a run from 0 to 100 kilometers in just 4.6 seconds. That is really quick, almost 2 seconds faster than the 2-liter turbo you get in the non-M50. There are paddle shifters because we have an 8-speed automatic transmission here, so we can shift manually, but on the left side, you'll see it says boost. So if you actually hold that button down, I'm actually in traffic, I'm not gonna do it right now, but when you hold that button down, it will give you 10 seconds of maximum response. So if you need to pull out and pass or do a big pass, that's when you're gonna do it. You don't have to go through any type of menus or anything, just kind of like a sport response button. So that's also new. We have different modes that we can have depending on what our mood is, as well as individual mode. If we go into sport mode, it's going to give you a warning here if you want to activate or cancel, because it's going to turn off the stability control and the traction control as well. If you don't want it like that, you can go to your individuals and set it however you want. Gears are held really nice, like really, really long, very intuitive. Like I really was expecting it to change, but it's right in the meat right now. Now we're gonna go deep in the corner, hard on the brakes. We get a nice gear down. Steering is great. You know what? I do miss my BMWs. I love the drive of a BMW, always have, always will. Once again, as I mentioned, the sports seats in a BMW, even for like a non-M car, like a M3, M4, something like that, I prefer these because they're more comfortable for day-to-day. They're not super hard on the edges, but they have enough bolster to give you support. And yeah, you're driving something that's taller, right? We are driving an SUV, but it feels light, and considering that this is a bigger vehicle, it feels very, very light on its toes or on its tires, really. Sport mode is definitely the way to go on this vehicle. Now we want to shift our own gears. Okay, we can actually manually shift. This is like V8, almost sounding a little bit, but the power is so good. Oh, so all X3s come as an xDrive, meaning all-wheel drive. It's a rear bias system. The M50 also gets a sport differential. It's just gonna make it even more fun, more engaging to drive, especially in the corners. All right, more power, more torque, more fun. So does it use more gas? Obviously, but it's not as bad as you think. So combined city and highway driving, of course normal driving, this thing averages 8.6 liters per 100K in combined city and highway. That is almost close to the same as the 2-liter turbo, and you're getting so much more performance out of this. For our friends down south, that equates to 33 miles per gallon for this X3 M50. So we've increased horsepower and torque and size, but one other thing that has increased as well, especially if you consider our last X3, which was about a dozen years ago, of course, is price. What doesn't go up? Nothing goes down in price. So ours before was top of the line, and we paid around, it was about $63,000. And now for this 2025 version, you are getting a lot more though. This M50 starts at $78,000 now. And if you add in all the other packages and, you know, like different colors that we have for this Vegas red, also this leather interior is just over $4,000 more. So that's a big add on there as well. And the premium package. So this one actually, as tested, is $90,000. So that's not inexpensive, but what is nowadays? So do you get the non-M50, go with the 4-cylinder turbo, or you go for the inline 6 turbo? In my books, in my opinion, if you can afford it, go for the 6-cylinder every day of the week. Absolutely. It's a gem of an engine, always has been, and I think it always will be. And they just keep on evolving it into something even better and better. It's just, yeah. For a compact SUV that's not that compact anymore, this new X3 really does offer a really good amount of performance, and you get all the luxury premium bits as well. Am I a big fan of some of this styling? No, not really at this point. Maybe it'll grow on me. It's just, yeah, it's trying pretty hard, but yeah, it's definitely different. So what do you think of the new X3? Leave a comment below. Hope to see you in the next Everyday Review. Ciao.